Welcome everybody to tonight, continuing on our month of vitality oils and what we can do with them. Tonight we have Stephanie Poet, and she is going to talk about soups, stews, and oils. Thanks for coming, Stephanie, and helping us out.
All right, so I am not a professional chef. I'm a home chef that enjoys cooking with my children. So most of my oily recipes are child, especially toddler approved. So tonight I'm going to start off pretty basic. You're not going to hear too much of me talk, but I will link everyone with PDFs of the recipes that I talk about. So let's begin. I'm going to share a graphic with you because I rather you guys see a pretty graphic than my face necessarily, but it might drive my point home better. So flavor burst versus flavor bomb. So this is how I personally distinguish the point of using the essential oils in my cooking are. So if a flavor burst, I'm going to still get all the properties of the essential oil. So it's usually stuff that is lukewarm to served cool, where the oils have not been overheated or baked or any of that. So I will call that a flavor burst. A flavor bomb, think of it as a bomb, it's warm. So I get that burst of flavor, but unfortunately I will lose the point of the essential oil. So this is my terminology. Everyone's different. This is what I choose to use to teach the class. And when I talk to people, this is how I talk. So now my other graphic I'm going to quickly share with you guys. A toothpick versus a drop. I am a big toothpicker. So I have toothpicks all over my kitchen when I use my oils because I was going to show you guys a drop. I will take a toothpick and dip it in I'm going to bring back my screen now, my face. I take a toothpick and I dip it in the large hole. And I like to swirl around. And then I will swirl it, or if it's meat, I poke it into the dish. If it is a drop, it's just like you were filling your diffuser. Remember, essential oils are extremely potent. So this mommy does not use drops a lot for the sheer fact that I am feeding toddlers. So most of my recipes will say toothpick dip, toothpick swirl. It's just how I like it. Again, if you are a big flavor person and you need it to be bursting and bombing with flavor, more power to you. It's definitely a taste preference. So those are my terminology. I do baking, I do cooking, all with vitality oils. The recipes I'm sharing you tonight showcase 4 vitality oils. The first recipe I'm going to talk to you about, and let's see if I can pull it up. No promise. Let's see. It'll let me. Oh, it's gonna let me. How about that? All right. Sorry. Okay, so this is mini mason jar chicken pot pies. Who of you like chicken pot pies? We in my house have now deconstructed this recipe and we no longer bake the pie crust over it. So I will show you, I'll break it down for that because we like to dip the pie crust into the big pot of soup. Again, it's all personal preference, but this recipe is for 6 mini mason jars. Because that was the only thing I had in my house at the time of creating this recipe that could go in an oven. So the oils that I chose to use in this recipe are probably my top 2 oils I use in my kitchen. So it's Rosemary Vitality and Thyme Vitality. You could also use Laurus Nobilis. That is a new oil I've been playing with in the kitchen. And if I did that, I would remove the 2 small bay leaves. Laurus Nobilis is the Latin word for bay leaves. So this is the recipe that I will let you all have. This is a recipe that I have tweaked several times over from other recipes. I typically use all frozen ingredients because that's just how I roll. If I'm gonna make soups this week, I will literally cut vegetables for multiple weeks and throw them in the freezer. So most of my recipes are plan ahead or can plan ahead. All right, so that was mini mason jars. Any questions?
Is that a pint size when you say a mini mason jar?
I wish I would have brought it. It's like this big.
Okay.
I use them to do like sugar scrubs in it normally, or you could use any dish that can go in the oven. So I now have soup bowls that I bought from, I think, Walmart, that say that they are oven safe up to 400 degrees. At the time of creating this recipe, the only item in my entire house that was safe besides oven pans was mason jars. So, the next recipe that I absolutely positively love. There was a show, this is probably like 5 years ago, that was on TV called The Chew. So it was based for home cooks. Their dishes were simple, sweet, delicious. So I took the Chew's Valentine's Dinner Beginner Cocoa Bean and oiled it up. So let me share that recipe with you. Sorry, I've never seen screen shared, so this is all new to me. See, you can all be new and
You're
still
doing
teach.
great.
All right, beginner cocoa bean. So this recipe definitely calls with out of the box ingredients. I don't know about you, but I don't typically have pancetta in my house. Though, again, if I buy it for this recipe, I know I'm going to make it again within a 4 to 6 week span. I will buy extra ingredients and chop them up and put them in the freezer. So the pancetta is pretty easy, but here's where I did the oily twist. Instead of the 6 sprigs of thyme, because hello, winter is fast approaching, and here in Illinois, fresh thyme gets pretty pricey. So guess what works? This I do drops with because it's so potent. You want that 6 sprigs of thyme. So I have figured out it's 1 to 2 drops of Thyme Vitality. The other one that we use is Parsley Vitality. That one's a new one. For me, I didn't bring it up. Again, parsley, middle of winter, pretty pricey at the grocery store. This saves you a lot. And you need to remember that as long as you keep these in a cool, dry, unsunlit area of your kitchen, it can last forever. So I don't technically buy those fresh ingredients anymore. I will grow them in the summer, but yeah, super simple. I did include where I found the original recipe if you had any questions, but you can just scan that QR code. But seriously, guys, this recipe is 12 steps. It's so simple. And by taking out the fresh thyme and fresh parsley, you don't have to go scooping for those bundles of herbs because you leave these in. So that is one of my favorite things about using vitality oils versus fresh herbs, because you don't need to go scooping in for those things that are unedible, especially bay leaves. Okay. That's beginner's cocoa bean, and that one my toddlers eat up. I mean, like, I don't put enough in a pan. I technically probably should double the recipe, and my toddlers are 6, 4, and 2. Okay, we're not talking like teenagers. But that chicken is just, it's just so yummy, and it falls right off the bone, and the kids don't even like. And I've been making it boneless, so it's even easier because I don't have to debone it. Oh wait, this mommy will cook bones but doesn't debone. She waits till daddy gets home. So that's how I roll here. The other recipe I want to quickly share with you, if there's any questions, let me know. It is made in a Dutch oven. If you don't have one, I highly, highly recommend one. It is just that. I love when you can take something from the stovetop and put it in the oven. I don't have to think as I hit my kids' decorations from their room. So again, I absolutely love simple recipes that I can make an oily twist to it. Another example, I did not write it down, but like tonight I had chicken noodle soup. How many of you eat chicken noodle soup? Chicken noodle soup, you typically need a lot of black pepper, correct? To get that big burst of flavor. Well, how about a flavor bomb? How about a drop of black pepper? Yes, the pepper still goes in the pot because we eat with our eyes before we eat with our mouth. But now you can get that black pepper without the entire last bowl being a bowl of black pepper, because black pepper stinks. So is now my new favorite, like go-to. Got the black pepper, gotta have it in the chicken noodle soup now. From now on, it won't be without it. So that was a simple switch, because again, I still put the black pepper in because you still eat with your eyes first, but I wanted additional without the chunks. That flavor really elevated the dish and being cost effective. This Vitality oil, I don't really have the price. If anyone has it really quick, we can look it up. This bottle, actually, this is a brand new one because I obviously eat black pepper, but will last forever. I can honestly tell you, I think this is my second bottle of Rosemary, but I literally cook with it probably every day, every other day. So this little 5 ml lasts way longer than that spice jar that's been in my cabinet, or the plant that I have killed multiple times over. Multiple times over. All right, I have one more quick recipe to share with you guys, and this will entail a flavor bomb and a flavor burst. So it's actually 2 recipes. Let's see if I can pull this up. All right, maybe I'll just post it. So it's gonna be, the first one's gonna be a bomb. This is brown butter sauce with Loris Nobilis. So what a brown butter is, does anybody know what a brown butter is? So a brown butter is when you take butter and you reduce it in your pan till it gets like a little bit of a brown flavoring. Now, should not taste burnt. It should taste nutty, like you're eating nuts. Well, what I did today for my butternut squash ravioli is I dropped Loris Nobilis in it. It added so much flavor, and then poured over the Trader Joe's ravioli, again, homemade, semi-homemade. And then I topped it with the praline pecans from Trader Joe's. But again, it was so simple. Most of us have butter in our cabinet or our refrigerators. Most of us oilers have these. Okay, and then the other recipe that's like a family favorite at parties is honey rosemary butter. Now this will be a flavor burst because the rosemary essential oil will have no contact with heat. So you will get the benefits of a rosemary essential oil. I highly recommend you look into it. You can Google rosemary essential oil and all of its perks and benefits, especially if you're eating it internally. So this one's really simple. It's 1 stick of butter to about 2 tablespoons of good quality honey. I am not talking go to Walmart and get honey. I'm talking find the local farmer's market or local farm and buy honey. So it's 2 tablespoons to taste. Again, this is to taste. I'm probably more around 3 when I make it for the kids. So it's 1 stick of butter, 2 to 3 tablespoons of honey, and 1 to 2 drops or 2 toothpick swirls of rosemary. Rosemary is super potent. So less is more because I can't take it out. Now I could add more butter and more honey and cover it up, but butter's kind of pricey. So let's start slow and add to our taste buds. So those are my favorite ways to use essential oils. Remember, flavor bombs, I'm getting the flavor and bursting the flavor, the bombing of the food, but no essential oil benefits. If I add a burst, I am now getting the essential oil, the goodness of the essential oils and not just the flavoring. So there you go. Oh, and then the other benefit of using Young Living's Vitality line versus an extract that you can get from the local grocery store is extracts have other things in it. So when someone comes and talks about baking, you'll get more out of that. But these are way better for your health than an extract. See, simple, short, sweet.
Awesome. Great job, Stephanie.